Classic, yet vintage, yet always in style. Today I'm sharing with you 10 patterns that I cannot get enough of, that will absolutely stand the test of time, in my humble opinion, and always remain in style. Hi, and welcome to Dine in Creativity, or welcome back if you're returning. I'm Rachel Ann, and this is my sewing channel fully dedicated to my sewing journey, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. I have always been a fan of vintage, retro styles, and have found that regardless of what decade we are in, they almost always come back around, and you see them whether you shop in the stores, you see them in our sewing patterns that present, and it's for a reason. These are some classically vintage patterns I'm going to share with you today. Of course, this is all based on my opinion, but these are classically vintage patterns that will always stand the test of time. Also, side note, if you have other patterns that you feel are just classics, and no matter if it's 2000 or 2025, they stand the test of time, please share in the comments. I'm always looking for new patterns that remain the classic pieces that I personally love to add to my wardrobe and sew up. So without further ado, let's get into it. You know I have to start with this first one, the Simplicity 9538 Peasant Blouse Top. First of all, who doesn't love a peasant blouse top? It is effortless in a variety of seasons. I could even see someone making this out of a thicker fabric for the fall and winter, maybe a thin velvet or something of that nature. But this is a pattern I have sewn up many times. It is 1940s vintage, and there are so many fun ways to modify it. Whether you add a little band at the waist to kind of cinch it in, you leave off the band on the sleeves. There are ways for you to put your own spin on this particular pattern that is classic. I mean, a peasant blouse top, you know, it says it's from the 1940s. It's been around for a very long time, and I don't see a peasant blouse top going anywhere. So without a doubt, this easy rated pattern could not be a better one to add to your collection. And I also can speak from experience because I've worked with it so many times. I went through a little jaunt a summer or two ago where I sewed up maybe 3 or 4 shirts just like this. And it was so much fun. And I would definitely agree with that easy rating. So great for a beginner if you're just getting started. Let's move on to the second one. This is a McCall's vintage 1970s pattern. This is 8429. This is a pattern I plan to work with this summer. I have my fabric all picked out already. I'm going to use a thrifted sheet I found. This pattern is also rated easy. If you have sewn this up, would you agree? Was it an easy pattern to work with? I love it because this silhouette, this shape, the style is also one that just persists over the decades, really. And what a great little pattern to have in your collection, even in those months, or maybe you're a kind of person who doesn't like to wear the halter. This is so cute, would be so cute to throw a cardigan on top or a little jean jacket or something of that nature. And I just think that it is such a perfect classic yet vintage style that we still see so frequently in terms of what's being either mass produced or even styles that individuals sew up. So I love it. Again, this is McCall's 8429. Let me know if you've worked with it and how it was. Let's move on to Simplicity 9845. Now this one definitely looks retro and vintage, and this is a 1960s vintage. But to be honest with you, again, this silhouette, both of them are so classic in terms of the fit, the flare, that little slight A-line shape at the bottom. And I just see this being so flattering for a variety of different body types. But depending on the fabric choices that you decide to use, you could very much modernize this Simplicity 9845 pattern to really make it work for you. It's rated very easy. I have actually sewn up a version of this and I definitely agree. It was very easy. I used vintage, almost polyester-esque type fabric, and I didn't have enough because I had gotten it from a thrift store. I did not have enough to make the sleeve, so I made mine sleeveless, and it had that really beautiful, somewhat high mock neck turtleneck feel to it, and it was so cute. And so I've loved having it as part of my wardrobe. And if you are into a cute, very easy dress that you can sew up and even modify to, again, modernize or just make work for you, this is a great little pattern. Simplicity 9845. If you've been sewing for any particular amount of time over the past year or so, I have no doubt you have seen this McCall's 8358 pattern. It is the classic wrap dress, which who doesn't love a classic wrap dress? They're easy breezy in the summer and spring months. You could even potentially, depending on the fabric choice that you use, wear it with boots, an oversized cardigan in the fall months. It is just effortlessly chic and classic and very forgiving. So no matter how you feel on a certain day, this is a very forgiving and flattering pattern. I've got mine all cut out, plans. I'm looking at my fabric right there. Actually, I'll show it to you because it's right here. It's a thrifted sheet. And so I cannot wait to use this for this McCall's pattern. This pattern is rated easy. The suggested fabrics are lightweight cotton, cotton blends, challis, and crepe de chine. All would be absolutely stunning. And really, this is not even a pattern. It's vintage 1970s. But to me, this is not even a pattern that you would very much need to tweak or pattern hack in any way, because it's already just such a classic, timeless style. So definitely one to consider if you are also into the classically vintage styles that circulate in the world today. Let's go ahead and move into pattern 5, which is McCall's 8493. So many different options when it comes to this particular pattern. It is rated very easy, which we love that if you are looking for an easy project to add some cute styles to your wardrobe. It comes with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different views where you can make the very cute little drawstring top, the shorts, the pants. You can turn the pants into shorts, the cute little A-line skirt here. Each piece separately is such a classic, effortless style to incorporate into your sewing wardrobe. This is a vintage 1970s. To me, the reproduction of many of these patterns speaks for itself. I don't feel that they would be reproduced unless they were classic and timeless pieces. And certainly, I've seen all of these kind of styles just in the store or when I'm kind of seeking inspiration for my own sewing projects when looking at what's available in the stores. I love the idea of using a French terry fabric to create these. How cute is that? So the suggested fabrics are unbonded stretchable knits, such as cotton knits, knitted terry, knitted velour. How gorgeous would that be? Sweater knits, wool or synthetic jersey. This is definitely one though. All I need to do is just cut it out. And I do have several different pieces of fabric that I'm gonna have to figure out which one I really wanna use. But this is McCall's 8493. I would be remiss to not add probably one of my personal favorite vintage patterns. This is McCall's 8501. To view my channel is to know that I love this pattern. I have made it in several different styles at this point, almost from a polyester fabric, kind of a crepe-esque type fabric, and then this very, very thin, it's not micro suede, but it looks like it type fabric. It is such an easy dress to sew up. I'm talking maybe 2 to 3 hours, and it just comes together so beautifully. It is rated easy. The suggested fabrics are challis, charmeuse, crepe de chine, handkerchief linen, jersey, lightweight crepe, lightweight linen, that would be gorgeous, rayon blends, silk, silk jacquard, soft cotton and cotton blends, tissue fallet. I think it's pronounced that way. Tissue fallet, not suitable for diagonals. I love it. The little line drawings on the back, I'll put that close so you can really see. Hopefully the camera is catching it. Yeah, I'm also just seeing here that this is a 3-hour sarong dress. Without a doubt, I definitely believe it takes 3 hours. This may even be one, if you're interested, I could do a sew along for these summer months. I know the one long style, I believe it was View A, that was made out of a really thin, almost micro suede type looking fabric. I've been able to wear in the fall. And so let me know if you would want me to do a sew along. I would be happy to do one. Would you want me to do the sew along geared towards a summer style, or try to make it so it's geared towards a fall winter style? My brain is already jumping far ahead. I love spring and summer sewing. So that's what I've just been gravitating towards lately, but winter is not over, especially for many people. And so I'm happy to oblige if you would like kind of a winter-esque style sew along. Keep me posted. But this would be one of my top vintage patterns. You can wear it for years to come. If you enjoy a very classic yet vintage, easy breezy dress, Simplicity 3046 has your name all over it. I know I'm sharing quite a few dresses, but I'm very much already thinking about spring sewing projects here. However, many of these dress patterns are ones that with the appropriate footwear, maybe a little light leather jacket or a jean jacket, denim, you could turn it from a summer dress into a fall dress. Maybe depending on the fabric for this one, a beautiful winter dress. I love how vintage and retro styles just are very simplistic. This one is rated very easy. If we look at the line drawings on the back, it just seems like there are minimal fabric pieces to them. And this to me is one of those effortless patterns that you could dress up in so many different ways depending on the accessories that you chose to wear. I love the maxi style dress with the slit up the front and the little belt around the middle, but I also love the V-neck style of this black dress here. Again, with adding a cute belt, even adding a headscarf or a headband, you could have a whole cohesive look put together just from this very easy Simplicity 3046 pattern. Let's look at the suggested fabrics. So it looks like stretchable jersey knits of acetate, cotton, nylon, polyester, or rayon, such as sire jersey, matte jersey, tricot, stretchable double knits of polyester, or wool. How cute would a wool dress be with this? A light wool. Definitely food for a thought, but the Simplicity 3046 1970s vintage pattern, in my opinion, stands the test of time. Classic silhouette, maxi style, slit up the front, deep V-neck back. Chef's kiss, love it. This is another Simplicity 1970s vintage style. This is 3049. This one is rated easy. To me, the easy ratings really speak to how most likely so many more people used to sew their own clothing back in the day, which I love. I know my grandmother was a huge proponent and advocate of sewing. She tried to teach me when I was 7 and I couldn't quite get into it. Little would she know now how it has quickly taken over my life and this room, my existence. So it's really fun to kind of in a way honor her by starting my own sewing journey. I'm sure many of you have a story similar to that with somebody in your life who you loved, who tried to teach you or did teach you. It's just a special thing to hold on to. But this particular pattern, although it absolutely screams vintage to me, classic style, really a classic funky style. Let's put it that way. We've got the little keyhole neckline here, almost a little shrug-like feel on the top. And it even comes with the cute little pants that you can sew up to wear under it. If you wanted to, you could crop the dress and just have an effortless, almost knit style set to wear. The suggested fabrics for this are bonded crepe, cotton jacquard, double knit, homespun, and linen. Novelty pique, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, Pique, polyester knit, silk and worsted, and silk linen. I love linen. I love a linen fabric. This is just giving me so many ideas here. It does call for a lining and some interfacing. But overall, it's still, to me, there's not much to it. If you are interested in an easy to sew pattern that gives you multiple options here to really work with. Again, this is Simplicity 3049. All right, my last Simplicity 1970s vintage pattern that is just classic and yet retro and vintage. 1970s vintage Simplicity 3017. It comes with a variety of different views, 5 views, and it's rated easy. This is such a cute little wrap style sweater turtleneck top, and then you've got that wrap style skirt to go with it. So many great ways to modify this pattern, and wow, haven't you noticed how choosing different fabrics just immediately switch up the look of a pattern? I feel like that is par for the course here. As you can see, they even added a little funky trim here at the bottom of this one. I could just see that being so cute for a very winterized version of this dress. But let's take a look at the suggested fabrics. We've got challis, crepe, double knit, flannel. That would be cute. Homespun, hop sacking, jersey, lightweight wool, linen, pique, polyester knit, poplin, and silk linen. I'm going to try to put up some pictures of some of these different fabrics, like hop sacking. I'm not familiar with that one. So I'll try to throw up a photo to show you what that actually looks like. But you can't go wrong with the turtleneck style wrap dress. Classic. By the end of this, you're just going to hear that word over and over. Classic, yet vintage. Stands the test of time right here. Okay, these next two are kind of two cheat patterns, but I had to include them because they are both patterns we have seen forever. They're not specifically labeled as vintage or retro, but in my opinion, like I've already said, I've seen them so many times. This one reminds me of Little Red Riding Hood, which I believe, I can't remember if that's a Grimm's fairy tale or not, but if so, that dates way back. I'll fact check myself on that. But this is a very easy Vogue pattern 9340. What an adorable little coat that, believe it or not, this is a very easy, rated very easy pattern. This is one, if you have worked with it, do share. What was your experience like? Is it very easy to sew? The suggested fabrics here are lightweight woolens, ponte knit, flannel, unsuitable for obvious diagonals. So there are 3 different views here on the back, which I believe mainly pertain to the length of the jacket. Each one in its own right would be so cute. I mean, so cute. It looks like there is a hood on it. It ties at the neck. I don't see any buttonholes right now. Let me check the notions here. 4 snap closures, so you're not having to even add buttonholes. But they made a plaid flannel, almost coat style here. It's really like a capelet coat in a way, except there are sleeves, of course. But I just saw this and I fell in love. I took full advantage of the simplicity.com New Year's sale and went ahead and gathered up a lot of these vintage styles that stand the test of time, because whether I'm sewing it up 10 years from now or sewing it up today, it is still a style that will be pervasive across years, really. So there you have it. Very easy Vogue 9340. All right, this is another cheat one, but this dress, I mean, I've seen it so many times. Let me know if you've also seen it over the years. This is Vogue 9076. We have almost I know it's not a cummerbund, but it's that part around your waist that kind of cinches you in. And then we've got the beautiful flowy sleeves, all different lengths here. I am particularly drawn to view A, that has the little tie detail on the front, which would just be so cute. And then kind of this gathered at the waist, A-line flared skirt. So there are 3 different views on the back. I know some people like to see those shapes, which are indicative of different body types, but truly, this is a pattern that, again, redundant here, we've seen time and time again, or I know I have seen it time and time again, and it's a style that just will persist. The suggested fabrics are crepe de chine, matte jersey, lawn, heavy georgette, unsuitable for obvious diagonals. And the notions are 2 snaps and 13 buttons for view A, 9 for B and C. It's a matter of different lengths of the dress here in terms of the 3 different views, but certainly a classically, in my opinion, I'm just naming it, vintage style that will stand the test of time. And this one's also rated easy. There you have it, 10 or 11 of my favorite vintage patterns that no matter what season of life you're in or what styles you're into, again, this is all based upon my opinion, but truly in my opinion, these are all classic patterns that persist, that I guarantee you this summer we'll start to see clothing options become available that almost fall into these categories. And it's just so fun to be able to create your own garments with the fabric that you want, with the fit that you like. So power to the sewist. This has been such a fun creative outlet for me personally. I do hope that wherever you are taking great care. If you're in the Southern California area and happen to be tuning in, I hope you are staying safe with all of the fires that have happened. Very new experience for me. I mean, I grew up in an area where hurricanes were a fairly constant threat at certain times of the year, but the fire season is a whole different animal because the day can start out normal. You can see the winds really blowing, but then by midday, you become aware that there is a wildfire that's occurring. So it's been really eye-opening for me. I know I packed a bag at one point and I still have it packed. I could probably unpack it at this point, but it's nerve-wracking. So my heart, it just breaks for everyone who has been affected. But if you are a viewer and you live in this area, I hope that you're staying safe. And I hope everyone, regardless of where you are emotionally, physically, and mentally taking good care of you. As always, thank you so much for watching. Happy creating and sewing, and be well.